What's up guys, Ray here with another episode of This Is December, and this week being mainstream week, we're going to be looking at the anime Soul Eater. Now chances are you've come into contact with Soul Eater somewhere in the life of you being an anime fan. Either you've seen someone cosplay a character from it, or you may have watched it on DVD or television. I think it was broadcast on ABC Free for quite a while. Somewhere along the line, chances are you have had contact with Soul Eater, whether you know it or not. Which is why it's such a mainstream anime, and which is why I'm giving it a review for Mainstream Week. So let's get started, let's get talking about the characters and the plot of Soul Eater by getting
off the tracks.
Soul Eater is set at DWMA Academy, or DWMA for short, which is located in the fictional city of Def City in Nevada in USA. Finally, we have an anime that's not set in Japan but is set in America, the complete polar opposite to Japan. The school is run by the Grim Reaper himself and is used to train humans that have the ability to turn into weapons, as well as humans who have the ability to, well, control those humans that turn into weapons. They're known as weapons and meisters, respectively. Attending this school are our main characters, the Meister Maka Alburn with her partner Soul Eater Evans, the assassin Black Star and his partner Tsubaki, and Def the Kid, the Grim Reaper's own son, with his twin partners Patty and Liz Thompson. The goal of the students is to have their weapons eat the souls of 99 evil humans and 1 witch soul, which equates to 100 souls in case you can't count, thereby allowing them to transform themselves and basically become a Death Scythe, which is a weapon that is used exclusively by the Grim Reaper himself. Shortly after the beginning of Soul Eater, Maka and Soul have a confrontation with the witch Medusa, who forces her child Krona, who is in turn Meister of the Demon Sword Ragnarok, into eating the souls of non-evil humans, therefore starting him down the path of becoming a Kishin. A Kishin being pretty much like an all-powerful evil being, more or less, and generally the major goal of the DWMA is to, stop these things from being, pretty much. Medusa and her cohorts then attack the DWMA with the goal of reviving Azura, the original Kishin, who is currently resting underneath DWMA after being sealed there by the Grim Reaper himself. Despite the combined efforts of Maka, Black Star and Def the Kid, Medusa and her cohorts successfully revive Azura, who leaves to spread chaos all around the world. However, in the resulting fight, Medusa is killed by the DWMA teacher, Frankenstein, who is also happens to be the greatest Meister who apparently has ever lived. There is an upside to this story of doom and gloom though, because Krona is left behind at the DWMA to turn over a new leaf and befriend all of our main characters at the DWMA. So hopefully I haven't spoiled the story too much for you. That's probably just the first quarter of the series or so that I've just gone through with you. But now it's time to move on to something a little bit different, as I talk to you about the voice actors who have voiced the many characters that I may have just mentioned in the past segment. This segment is called
The Good, The Bad, and The Dubbers.
Our main protagonist, Maka Alburn, is voiced by Laura Bailey, who's also done the voice work of Maria Kurenai from Vampire Knight, Lust from Fullmetal Alchemist, and Hiyori Sarugaki from Bleach. Soul Eater Evans is voiced by Mika Solusod, who's also done the voice work of Midnight from Fairy Tail, Tsutomu Senkawa from Birdie the Mighty Decode, and Toma Kamijo from A Certain Magical Index and A Certain Scientific Railgun. Black Star is voiced by Brittany Kabowski, who's also done the voice work of Himiko from the upcoming Batum anime, Mifi Lawton from Chrome Shelled Regios, and Pride from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Tsubaki Nakasukasa is voiced by Monica Rial, who's also done the voice work for Mira Jane Strauss from Fairy Tail, Mei Rin from Black Butler, and Stocking from Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. The voice of Death the Kid is provided by the charismatic Todd Haberkorn, who's also done the voice acting work for Takimaru from Toriko, Italy from the Hetalia series, and Keisuke Takahashi from the Funimation dub of Initial D. Patty Thompson is voiced by Chirami Lee, who's also done the voice work for Chiffon Fairchild from Freezing, Kurimi Nakazawa from Ouran High School Host Club, and Miss April Fool's Day from One Piece. Liz Thompson is voiced by Jamie Marchi, who's also done the voice work for Rias Gremory from High School DxD, Shoko Kirishima from Baka and Test, and Matsu from Sengoku Bizarre Samurai Kings. The Grim Reaper Lord Death himself is voiced by John Swayze, who's also done the voice work for Undertaker from Black Butler, Crocodile from One Piece, and Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's both in the original series and the remake movies. The teacher Frankenstein is voiced by Chuck Huber, who's also done the voice work for Android 17 from Dragon Ball Z, Hei from Yu Yu Hakusho, and the gourmet god Acacia from Toriko. Krona is voiced by Maxie Whitehead, who's also provided the voices for Alphonse Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Dende in Dragon Ball Z Kai, and Chryslor Meyer from Bacchanal. Finally, Ragnarok is voiced by Sonny Strait, who's also provided the voices for Krillin from Dragon Ball Z, Usopp from the One Piece anime, and Lupin the Third from the shows and movies of the same name. Also, for bonus points, those of you who grew up between the years of 1997 and 2008 may be surprised to know that Sonny Strait provided the voice for Tom from the Toonami ads. You know, remember that little black robot looking guy who used to introduce each show? Yeah, that was Usopp. All in all, Soul Eater is an amazing anime. It's a bit long at 52 episodes. It probably could have had a little bit of it cut out and reduced to about, say, 26 maybe? But it does do a pretty good job of keeping its audience entertainment at a rather high level. I wouldn't go on to say that it's enthralling and all that, but it's definitely enough to keep you watching the next episode. I lost many a nights lying in bed just watching another episode after another episode going just one more, just one more. The voice acting is provided marvelously and they really keep to the original dubbing to a majority of the things. You could pretty much swap it over to the Japanese with English subtitles and it would almost be the same conversation as it is in the English dub. There'd obviously be a couple of changes due to the way we structure our sentences, but it's almost the exact same. The art style is a little different. It is drawn as a bit more cartoonish because it is aiming at a younger audience than what I am, for instance, but the major thing about the art style is that they don't pay a lot of attention to people in the background. All the detail will be on the people in the foreground, and the background people will mostly be drawn as grey silhouettes pretty much. Keep in mind though that if you're going to show this to younger children, that there is rather a lot of stylized violence and there is quite a little bit of blood, considering that one character uses blood as a weapon quite frequently. The story got geckoed towards the end of it, which means that it didn't follow from the original source material, which was the manga. This was because the manga and the anime were being released at the same time, and because the manga is a monthly release rather than a weekly release, obviously the animators ran out of story to animate and had to make up their own. Which means that where the anime ends, there's another 20 or 30 so chapters of the manga, which goes on to continue the story. So if you are interested in Soul Eater, then by all means go out and watch the anime. But if you find yourself still wanting more at the end of the 52 episodes, keep in mind that you can go back, you can read the manga, and you can get almost a completely different story, or at least a continuation of the story that you've grown to love through the anime. At the end of the day, I give Soul Eater a 7 out of 9 vending machines. It is a great anime, one that I thoroughly enjoyed, but not exactly the greatest anime on my list of stuff that I've seen. It's definitely one of the more recent ones, and it's definitely one of the more interesting concepts that I've seen, because I don't think many other animes have dealt with the concept of people turning into weapons. So definitely give that one a look out. So this has been another episode of This Is. I'm Ray. Catch you on the flip side.